Hello everybody and welcome back to the chassis variant series with the Cougar. This is the E configuration, and the E configuration comes with dual ATM 6s, one in each arm, and triple ER medium lasers, one in the head and one in each side torso, if I remember correctly. That is how it's set up, honestly, I'm not lying, it is how it's done, yeah it is. So this is a nice mix, a sort of heavy emphasis, a hybrid. I like to think when you've got two weapon groups, two weapon types available. It's the hybrid version, whereas you've got three, they're the jack of all trades version. If you've got one, they're the specialist. So this is the hybrid, in my opinion. Dual ATM 6s, very good, very powerful, very deadly. Again, emphasising the Cougar and its role as a light that's able to deliver an incredible amount of punishment. Like old clan light mechs, they're essentially the equivalent of Innisphere mediums in their firepower potential, and this is a good representation of that. Obviously ATMs not working the way they do in Battletech, but they're quite powerful in MechWarrior Online. When you get to that sweet spot in range, they brutalise people, and there's a decent amount of ammunition in there for them, right from the off. And the medium lasers don't overheat you too quickly, so you've got a nice backup there for when you open someone up with your ATMs, and then you can move in. And it's nice to also have the option of being able to sort of engage at range and assist other mechs without, risking yourself too much in the field. There's not really a version of the Cougar that I've disliked, to be honest, and it's the same with this one. I really like this version of the Cougar. I've liked all the mechs so far that have come with ATM launchers, because ATMs just are a bit more fun. They take a little bit more practice to get right, especially when you're obviously working on the angle of the shot, being that they have a much more flat trajectory compared to the more arcing fire of LRMs. But they do have I think they have a greater psychological impact, because 3s and 6s they don't sound like they do a lot, but when you get to that sweet spot of short range and medium range damage, you do start to pile on quite quickly, and it can really screw people up. And that is precisely what the E is capable of. It's a nasty build, and it's a good support build, essentially. I wouldn't run it as a frontline fighter, but it's good backing up a light lance that's trying to flank, or assisting the assaults when they're focusing down targets. So I would recommend it. I do quite like the E configuration for this. Probably a little bit more than I like the sort of C and the D. Again, I always sort of gravitate toward mechs that have a bit more simplicity to them in their builds, rather than being a kind of mix. I prefer it when their sort of role are more clearly defined, and that is precisely what this one does. I'm fighting off sneezing here. I seem to be winning that battle. I'm very close, but I did it. Yay! Production quality. So yeah, the Echo is a fun old build, and yeah, as I said, the simplicity is what it helps. I think it helps focus you when you haven't got as much to worry about on your weapon groups. You can really sort of start to pick your shots and time when you're going to attack something, and that is what it feels like running this model. And yeah, as you can see, you do once you do build up heat, though. Sadly, the Cougar E version does struggle to get rid of the heat, even though it does come with an additional 3 double heat sinks on top of the 10 that come with the engine. It's not enough. It definitely does need some of the heat management skills, and these are all these videos are all of unskilled Cougars at the time of recording. I'd literally bought this one the day of the recording, so there was no time to really skill it up or anything. But you can see the potential there when it does get to that level. So this was a pretty good fight for me. I find Crimson is a good map for ATMs as well, because the ranges aren't that bad, and when it does get into this kind of open territory, you can really pile on the damage. And I think I gave a good account of the E variant. The others I feel like I may have let down a little bit at times, but this one I felt like I'd made the best of the variant's potential. And obviously, customization wise, the Cougars aren't the most flexible. There isn't a lot you can do from their kind of stock omnipods, but given the fact that you've got obviously one of them that has, I think it's like 4 energy hardpoints in one arm, you've obviously got some ballistics. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of options for being able to swap around. You could stick the ECM head in from the H variant in here, so you've got something a bit more sneaky that you can run on the field, something along those lines. I've always found that, yeah, that the Omni-Mechs tend to have those kind of key things. It's like the Kit Fox. Kit Fox has the ECM arm, so, you know, that becomes a popular thing to take. You see that with Arctic Cheetahs, and you've got others that have got, oh, this combination on Ebb and Jaguars just gives it like a monstrous amount of energy hard points that it can just bring like shitloads of energy weapons, that kind of thing. So yeah, you can probably find that with the Cougar. You can probably find that with any of the Omni-Mechs. But yeah, it's cool. I did enjoy running the Cougar for the series, as I looked forward to it when it originally debuted, and it's not a bad design. If you haven't tried it out, give it a go, because it is a fun Clan Omni light. And yeah, that rounds out the Cougar series. So we'll be finishing off the Clan lights for now, obviously until we get to January, with the Jenna 2Cs, and then we'll be going over to the Piranha. And yeah, then from there on we'll be moving up to the mediums. So that'll be interesting to see. Be a few of them I haven't run for a while. I think this fight's over now, so it's just capping points until the victory. So hooray! A victory where I survive. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed those. Have a good sort of December period, because I don't, you know, do that thing where you know, if you say Christmas, you feel like you might be offending somebody instead, so you go middle of the road. So have a good potential Christmas if you celebrate that, and if not, have a good time where there's no work or anything in certain countries. Yeah. So see ya. Bye.